Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, Love, Truth, and Wisdom Tarot Guidance. My name is Sharnetta. I hope you all are having an enjoyable day or evening so far. So this is going to be a self-check-in type of reading. I've been called to kind of do this and I've been kind of like procrastinating and not really being consistent on it, but I want to start doing this because I think it's really important for everyone to kind of check in with themselves first and foremost, because the relationship you have with yourself really is the blueprint for all other relationships in your life. So I will be doing these probably once a week, just to kind of see where we're at. So what I'm going to do is we're going to look into the energy of your inner world, the energy of your outer world, and then how you're showing up collectively with both energies, and then pull some advice and guidance and stuff like that. So I guess just like a brief overview. So in case you don't know what inner world and outer world stuff is, so your inner world is just like your soul, your spirits. It's where your deepest desires are. It encompasses all your dreams and creative longings. It's all the experiences you wish to have, and it's connected to everything in the universe. It's basically your consciousness. It's where you find your equilibrium. It's where you ground and center yourself in your true self, your authentic self. So basically your inner world is just what's going on in your mind, your emotions, your visions, all that fun stuff. And then your outer world is basically your environment and the situation or situations that you're facing at this current moment. So I'm going to start with some oracle here just to get a layout of what's going on. So this, I'm going to do inner, outer, and then over your as a whole, how you're showing up. So for your inner here, we have, ooh, that's good. Okay. We have death. Nice. Okay. And then for your outer here, we have blame. Okay, interesting. And then how you're showing up collectively, we have balance. Okay, this is good. I like this. I feel good. Good energies here. Okay, so let's clarify some more with death. I'm gonna pull the cards and then I'll get into it. So inner world and death. There's definitely a lot of you guys are going through like a spiritual transformation, like a dark night of the soul, or like some deep, intense inner work. I feel like you're ascending, transforming your whole inner reality here. We have the Knight of Wands reverse, the Hanged Man, and the Eight of Wands reverse. And then for your outer worlds, we have the Emperor reverse, the Ten of Cups reverse, and the Queen of Swords reverse. Okay. And then overall, how you're showing up with all these energies. We have the King of Swords reverse, the Page of Pentacles reverse, and the Ace of Cups reverse. Okay. A lot of reversals, but that kind of checks out just given the themes here. So, and we will clarify if need be. So let's get started. So in terms of your inner world, we have death. It says, I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. This is about a transformation or rebirth. And since we're talking about your inner world, again, as I said, your inner world is basically the foundation where you create your life. It's that place where, you know, it's like, it's where your light shines. It's how you connect to the universe. So with the Knight of Wands and the Hanged Man and the Eight of Wands, I feel like there's some type of blockage here. There's stuck. You feel stuck emotionally. You feel like maybe you just feel like a lack of inspiration, a lack of movement. You feel like you can't move. This is all of this is saying like there's no movement emotionally. So maybe you just feel like you have no emotions to give, you are not receiving emotions, you just don't have anything to give, like you're just not moving, you're not motivated, you're just not feeling it for a good reason, because the universe is trying to get you to see things from a different perspective. The Hanged Man, that's the card that comes right before the Death card. The Hanged Man is about surrendering, accepting where you are, accepting how you're feeling. So maybe a lot of you may be having a hard time accepting that maybe you're not feeling the best, maybe you're not feeling motivated or inspired. It's for a particular reason, it's for a purpose. And the universe is doing this because you're going through this really deep spiritual transformation. You're ascending. You're going through this deep emotional transformation. Your thoughts are changing. Your actions are changing. The way you respond to certain people is changing. And because of all these changes that are really, really intense with the death, it requires you to be still. It requires you to kind of just reflect, to kind of sit still, hang tight. This is the card of like non-action, and all these reversals are. The Knight of Wands and the Eight of Wands are action oriented as well, but they're reversed, which means it's going within. It means kind of delayed, stuck energy. So there's not really a lot of movement going on in your emotional world because you're going through this. And I feel like right after this is done or this wraps up, all of this will be upright and you'll be good to go. But I just feel like a lack of inspiration. You're just not feeling inspired. You're not feeling like you want to move or do anything. And you're not going crazy. It's not because you're like bad or because you feel, well, you may feel a little bad, but it's not because of anything that you're doing wrong. It's just because the universe is wanting you to be still right now, especially internally, and just reflecting on like your outer world, because there's a lot going on in your outer world that has to do with relationships, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with, I feel like family is coming up here with the Emperor and the Queen of Swords, like a mother or a father, or like just family in general. Or maybe this is a relationship that you're dealing with that has a lot of like blame around it. So you could be like blaming other people in your family for why you feel this way, why you feel like you can't move, or you feel stuck, or you feel like you're just not where you want to be. You just don't feel like yourself. It could be like you just don't feel like inspired. You don't feel like doing things, like you're just kind of lethargic, like just like sloth, like maybe like there's just little movement that is being had right now, and it could be frustrating you, because sometimes the Eight of Wands can speak about frustration and just kind of just not feeling inspired, and the Knight of Wands is all about passion and inspiration, and in reverse it kind of has to slow down and take some time to reflect about what it actually inspires you, what actually makes you feel motivated, what actually makes you feel like inspired, basically. But in terms of like your outer world here, I do feel like there's a lot of blame. There's a lot of people not accepting responsibility for their own well-being, maybe kind of putting a lot of pressure on you to kind of putting a lot of like responsibility on you to have them like to make them feel better. You know what I mean? Like people, I feel like there's people around you that aren't taking responsibility for their own happiness. And since, like I said, like we're always reflecting our external reality, this could be something where this is like a lesson. This is like something that you're learning of how to take responsibility for your own feelings, your own happiness, how to inspire yourself when maybe this is like a situation where you always looked for the outside world or external circumstances to inspire you and motivate you to do things, and the universe is putting a pause to that and stopping that, because you need to kind of find it within yourself right now. You need to look within yourself and find that motivation, find that inspiration, find that passion that lies within you. It's always been in you. It's never been outside of you. And this is like maybe something that you're learning or that you are needing to learn at this time, because there's a lot of blame going on in your external environment, or there's a situation where you're blaming other people or other people are blaming you. And there's just a need for you and others to accept responsibility for their own well-being, and that's not being had here with the Emperor reverse, the Ten of Cups reverse, and the Queen of Swords reverse. There is a lot of bitterness, there is a lot of control, there is a lot of wanting things to look a certain way and it not happening, and so it's kind of like there's a lot of blame because it doesn't look this way, it's your fault, or because I feel this way, it's your fault. Whether this is you doing it to other people or other people doing it to you, I feel like it's kind of a two-way street, if I'm gonna be honest, but take what resonates. But I do feel like there is a lot of like, there's a lack of peace here. There's a lack of emotional peace. There's a lot of emotional discord. There's a lot of disharmony. There's a lot of emotional imbalance. And because of this, I feel like you or other people are trying to control the outside circumstances instead of going within, reflecting on what is really bothering you, honestly, what inspires you, where you want to place your energy and your intention and your focus on. Because right now, I feel like you could be focusing on the wrong shit, to be completely honest with you. And not saying like to ignore if this is like going on, if there's like a lot of disharmony or discord in your like relationship, your love life, whatever this may be, but I do feel like there's a need to accept responsibility, because the Emperor reverse and the Queen of Swords reverse is very harsh. It's very controlling. It's very abrasive. It's completely emotionally like just turmoil, just kind of like just losing control of yourself. And I feel like there's like an energy here of you losing control over yourself because you're kind of not where you want to be. I'm just getting this energy. You're not where you want to be. You feel like you're not where you should be, and you're always where you're supposed to be. Like, if you were supposed to be somewhere else, you would be somewhere else. If you were supposed to be with someone else, you would be with someone else. There's something you need to look at, that the universe is really trying to get you to see things from a different perspective, from a perspective of you taking responsibility for your own life, for the way you feel, for what you want in your life, and not blaming others. There's like a really big blame game here. And then in terms of like how you're showing up, we have balance. So it says, I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. So I think this is something you're trying to get through. We have, again, a lot of reversals here, but this is, again, balance within. I think there's definitely a strong need to have balance within, and the only card we have upright is the Hanged Man. So this is really important. Plus, this is a major arcana, so this is something you really need to pay attention to. It's all happening and starting within you, with your emotions, with your thoughts. You change your thoughts, you change the way you're feeling about your thoughts, because I feel like you could be judging a lot of the thoughts you have, or a lot of the feelings that you're feeling, instead of just accepting it, surrendering to it, and just allowing the transformation to take place. It's almost like you're stalling the transformation a little bit, because you might be a little scared or a little worried, or you're just kind of still in this like old kind of conditioned mentality where you're still kind of blaming other people and placing blame. And really look into that. I feel like Spirit is really asking you to look at where you blame yourself or others, look at where others blame you, and kind of see it from a perspective of not judging it, but seeing it from a place of balance, seeing it from a place of like love. If you can try to practice that, I feel like it's really important, because we have counterparts. We have the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords, so this could very well have to do with a particular relationship that you just feel is not for you anymore, that you feel is just caused you to kind of maybe lose yourself, or maybe you lost yourself in this relationship, in this person, or something like that. Or maybe you're going through a breakup or a divorce, and there's a lot of blame going around why you have to go through this, or you're blaming the other person. Whatever the case may be, Spirit is really asking you to kind of find this balance within. You're a very wise person, you're very smart, and you're very logical. You can be and have always been the emperor in your life. Like, you never needed another person. Well, no one ever needs another person, but you never needed another person to make you feel stable, secure, happy, emotional. And I feel like you've forgotten that, and I feel like Spirit is really asking you to remember that. So they're stalling everything. They're not moving anything right now, because you need to reflect on this. I'm surprised we don't have the Hermit card, because I'm feeling like Hermit energy. But in terms of like how you're showing up in a place where you're not open to give or receive love. You kind of have lost your passion a little bit. You don't know what you're passionate about, or maybe you're kind of like all over the place and passionate about this one day and passionate about the next one day. There's like a lack of commitment to your own balance. There's a lack of commitment to your own truth, your own wisdom. There's a lack of commitment to your own self-care and self-love. And Spirit really needs you to bring balance back into your inner world. That will bring balance back into your outer world. And your inner world right now is going through a transformation. So try to find balance, or try to find peace at least, through whatever you're feeling, because it will change. It won't be like this forever. The Hangman can't be in this Hangman position forever, but because we have the Eight of Wands right after it, and it's reversed, it means you're missing something. It's like this could finish up maybe a lot quicker, but you're missing something, and it has to do something with this blame and you taking responsibility for your own feelings, thoughts, and actions. And I feel like there's an energy here of maybe you feeling like people take advantage of you, or people have been taking advantage of you and you've been blaming them for that. But Spirit is really asking you to be like, okay, well, where did you consent to them taking advantage of you? If that's the case, you know, we all consent to the energies and the relationships that we indulge ourselves into a certain degree. Even if you don't, you know, like, know why you attracted certain people or whatever the case may be, there's still a responsibility of you entertaining that energy. Even if you knew that energy wasn't good for you, or even if you knew that that energy or that person, that situation wasn't for your highest good, you still entertained it in some way. Whether you thought about it, whether you kind of ruminated on it, whether you blamed, or just put some type of energy into that whole situation. So I feel like that's something that you may want to reflect on. That's not going to resonate with everyone, but I feel like that may be something to kind of look into, because we just have so much stalled, delayed, stuck energy, and it's just kind of, I mean, it's necessary. It's like it's almost like you're stuck in the eye of the storm, if that makes sense. Like you're just kind of like sitting in the eye of the storm instead of kind of trying to figure out how to maneuver out of it, and trying to see like a new way to how to maneuver out of that situation, if that makes sense. But there's a lot going on here, so I'm just gonna clarify a couple things. First, foremost, I want to clarify the Hanged Man, because that's the only card upright, and I feel like there's a really important message with that card. So Spirit, what is the Hanged Man doing right now? What can you tell us about the Hanged Man? We have the Lovers, we have the Hanged Man again, and we have the Four of Wands. Okay, so this doesn't have to be about a relationship, and then we have the Four of Cups at the bottom. So this is about not knowing what to do about a particular relationship. So this could be the relationship with yourself, which I feel like Spirit really wants to kind of hone in on and have you focus on, but it is affecting, it's like there is a relationship in your environment that is causing you this delay, causing you this pause, causing you to want to see things from to want to see things from a different perspective. And with the Lovers and the Hanged Man, there is a choice that has to be made about your happiness. What is going to make you happy? Because right now you're in a situation that's not making you happy. And I'm not saying it can't make you happy, but there's a shift. There needs to be a shift in perspective, especially with the Hanged Man coming out again. And a shift of perspective, meaning there needs to be an alignment within yourself. With the Ten of Cups reversed, there is an emotional discord within you, which is why you are having a hard time kind of connecting emotionally to anyone else, because you're not really doing it within yourself right now. You're not really feeling, it could be like you're just not really feeling yourself in a general sense. But there's definitely a choice that needs to be made, which is why you're in this pause, about your happiness, about your harmony, about your balance, about your stability, about what is going to make you feel emotionally fulfilled and secure. This is about like some type of union. I definitely feel this is the union within yourself, since this is internal. There needs to be an internal union within yourself. You need to see yourself as your own soulmate first and foremost, your own partner, your own, reliable person, your own counterpart first and foremost, before you can kind of deal with this. Because right now you're kind of not loving that you feel stuck, that you feel emotionally unavailable, that you're not happy, and so you're kind of blaming outside circumstances. Just to be honest, which we all do, it's nothing to be ashamed of, but the more that we can bring awareness to it, the more that we can shine light on it and just see things from a different perspective, it will help us to grow and move and evolve in a way that's more peaceful and balanced. So don't be ashamed if you're blaming things. We blame all the time. Like, that's nothing to be ashamed of. It's the more about bringing awareness to it, and it's keeping us stuck. It's keeping us blocked. It's keeping us from moving forward to where we need to be. That's what that is. And that's there for a reason. Blame is there for a reason. It's so you can see where you need to accept responsibility, where you need to focus on your own happiness, where you need to kind of do your own thing for a while and just kind of ignore other people and really focus on the relationship you have with yourself. So let's clarify the Ten of Cups here. Reverse, just to see what this is about. Ooh, okay. So we have the Eight of Swords, the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Cups. So we have two nines. So nines represent compassion, they represent completion. There's a need to complete a cycle, an emotional cycle, an emotional relationship, a relationship. This could be a family relationship, this could be your person. There's a need to complete something. You definitely feel stuck in some situation and you're scared to get out of it. You're scared to kind of go after your own dreams, go after your own wishes, desires, fulfillment, happiness. It's like it's like, oh God, it's almost like you are so unhappy with your environment or whatever situation you're in that it's become like your comfort zone now. So it's like it's become like so familiar to you that you're just kind of used to like blaming and just kind of moving on. But I feel like Spirit is not allowing you to do that anymore. Honestly, with the Hanged Man, it's stopping everything until you focus on this and really come to terms with yourself and be honest with yourself about, are you happy in this situation? Are you happy with this environment? Are you happy in this relationship? Because honestly, there's a lot of stuck anxieties and fears around it. And I feel like honestly this isn't something that's impossible to fix if this is a romantic situation or even if this is like a family situation. I think this is more just about speaking your truth because of the Queen of Swords here and being honest and taking your power back in a situation. And whether this person kind of understands and like agrees, or I think there's definitely needs to have a conversation here. It's like there's a lack of communication here. So there's just a lot of blame going back and forth. And I think the more that you can step into your power and kind of go after your own happiness, whether you tell this person or not, doesn't really matter. I feel like it's kind of like leading by example. I feel like is really important here, and kind of not being in this place of bitterness or being in this place of harsh energies and just really like blocking everyone out and just not connecting to anyone. I feel like there's just a need here to be more at peace with yourself, and you need to make that decision for yourself and not blame anyone because you can't make that decision. You know, you can do whatever you want. You are the creator of your own reality. You are the master of your world. You can honestly do whatever you feel like doing, and it doesn't mean that everyone's gonna agree or everyone's gonna like not like, you know, just be like, oh, that's great, like, and just like give you their blessing. You may have a lot of people who challenge you on this. You may have a lot of people who are trying to control you, or a person that's trying to control you from not leaving or not going after your happiness. But you, like, no one has control over you without your consent. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can do whatever you want in reality. And I feel like you're having these fears of like doing something that's gonna make you happy, and you have these fears of like people or a person kind of controlling you or telling you no, or putting doubt in your head, putting fear in your head, and you're ruminating over these thoughts over and over again. There's a lot of like rumination here about like negative self-fulfilling prophecies about like the stories you're telling yourself, and it's causing a lot of worry, anxiety, nightmares. There's a lot of like, there's just so much discord here, and there's a potential to be so happy, but it's like you or the other person, forget the other person, this is about you. You're not taking responsibility for your own happiness, and Spirit is really wanting you to do so because it's imperative, because it's like you're not yourself, you know. You're not, I feel like you're a very loving, nurturing, go-getter, feisty type of person. You're very clear, you're very logical, you're very, very smart, you're very peaceful. You've been through a lot, but it hasn't deterred your heart. And I feel like there's something going on that is kind of bringing you down. Honestly, it's really bringing you down. It's really, Spirit is really causing you to like reflect on this, because it's causing so much like just lethargic energy that it's just not, it's not helpful. It's kind of just keeping you in this place of, like I said, like fear, doubt, just feeling, making you feel trapped. But you're not trapped. It's all in your head. It's all in your mind. You are free to go after your own happiness, but you have to see things from a different perspective. You have to open up, basically keep an open mind. Don't blame anyone. Don't judge yourself about what you're thinking. Don't judge others for what they're doing. It's irrelevant. What do you need to do to be happy? What do you need to do to make yourself happy? What do you need to do to inspire yourself, to motivate yourself, and just basically fuck what anyone else thinks or does, excuse my language, and just kind of do your own thing, honestly. Like, and everything will fall into place once you put yourself first in a non-selfish way, but in a way where you are happy, where you are content, where you are aligned. Everything will fall into place, honestly. And anything that's not falling into place will just fall out of your life. So that's why self-love, self-care, your own happiness really is very important, even though a lot of society says that's selfish or whatever the case may be. It's just like society in itself is like just a mess anyway. So we don't really need to be really paying attention to what other people are thinking or doing, because other people have a lot more issues, and it's just like everyone just needs to focus on their own issues and become so aligned with themselves and become self-aware and just focus on themselves and not care what other people think, basically. Okay, so that was my speech. Let's get some advice here. But yeah, I feel like there's just a lot of like need to balance. You just need to take care of yourself. You need to kind of focus on yourself. Right now, you can't focus on anything else but yourself, and Spirit is really guiding you not to focus on anything else but yourself. So don't really have a choice, to be honest. Yeah, crisis, how to manifest, follow your bliss, and love where you are. All the things I was saying. Definitely a crisis. Perspective. See, the universe does not lie, you guys. Okay, so perspective. Again, all I've been saying, perspective needs to shift. There needs to be some clarity. You need to see the other side of a situation. You need to consider different perspectives, different ways of thinking, different ways of the way that other people think. I feel like, again, it says take responsibility for your life. I think that's a really big thing here. And like a lot of us do that. A lot of us kind of get into this place that we don't even know we're blaming others until we really sit still with ourselves and really look at, okay, why am I blaming this person for me? Like, maybe you're blaming this person because they don't want to take a walk with you, so you think you can't take a walk. You can take a walk, you know what I mean? Like, in just a general light version of stuff. Like, and then you're blaming this person all day for like not wanting to go walk with you, and Spirit's just like, well, you can go for a walk, you know, no one's stopping you but you. You don't need this person to go for a walk. Something like that. So with crisis here, yeah, there's definitely, I wouldn't say a crisis, I would just say, it may feel like a crisis, honestly, to some of you, but I would just say this is just a transformation, and this is just what it means to ascend, to evolve, to do inner work, to be self-aware. It's not for the weak of heart. Takes a lot of courage and a lot of bravery, and in doing so, through this crisis, or I don't want to say crisis, but through this transformation, through this time of like you clearing your space and you restructuring your life, absolutely, you seeing your needs, seeing what you need emotionally, physically, mentally, and you meeting those needs for yourself first and foremost, you are manifesting what you've always wanted. You are following your bliss. You are having fun. You are aligning. You'll get the inspiration back. You'll have fun again. I think you just need to go through this. This is just a restructuring that's happening right now. This is just the universe clearing out shit, bringing new solutions, wanting you to see your needs, your emotions, so you can follow your bliss, so you can do what inspires you again. You're a very inspirational person. I feel like you need a lot, or you like a lot of inspiration, and you like to inspire others. And I feel like that could be the reason why you're not feeling yourself, because you're not feeling any of that right now. Because Spirit is asking you to focus on something else. Focus on your perspective, on your thoughts. Because right now I feel like you're in a place where your thoughts are not supportive of you right now, for a good reason, because you're going through this purge, this change. Again, a lot of the blame stuff. And then, you know, love where you are. It says appreciate current circumstances. Again, ask yourself why you want what you want and see the beauty in it all. There's a need to really reflect on a lot of your choices, a lot of your perspectives, a lot of your what actually really inspires you. Because it could be that for some of you, you think maybe something inspired you in your environment, but that's no longer there. And so you think like you're never gonna get inspired again until you get that thing back. or until you feel that feeling again. And Spirit's just like, you always had the feeling that person or that situation was just a reflection of whatever was going on within you. You always have had it. And I think that's a new thing, a new concept you could be trying to kind of understand a little bit. But you've always had the inspiration. You're a very creative person. I feel like, honestly, Spirit is putting your life in a new direction that's not based in fear, not based on blame, but really like you loving yourself and you seeing the beauty in everything, and you seeing the beauty in yourself, and you kind of detaching enough where you're like in this world but not of it, if that makes sense, and seeing things from just taking responsibility for your emotions, your needs, your life, and not putting that on the shoulders of other people, not putting your happiness on the shoulders of other people or situations. This is about finding your own happiness. With the Nine of Cups, this is what fulfills you and you doing it. Even if that means taking a walk, having a milkshake, whatever it is, there's no need to blame other people for why you can't do what you want to do, unless it's like, what's going on in the world. But there are ways to maneuver that, you know what I'm saying? There are ways around that, trust me. I understand if that's the case, but like there are ways to kind of still fulfill your desires, still fulfill your bliss, still focus on your creativity, and not focus on what's going on in the world, not focus on what's going on in your environment, not solely focused on it to the point where it's keeping you from not being yourself, from not being your creative, feisty, fun self. You need to kind of get back to that and appreciate where you are and find it within yourself to manifest what you want. So what I'm gonna do, let's get some more guidance here and then we'll wrap it up because I don't want this reading to be too long. Here. Okay. So I'm using my Work Your Light Oracle card deck. This is for some final messages and guidance here. So this is good. If this resonates with you, then just so you know, you're on the right track. It's okay why you feel the way you feel. Don't blame yourself. Don't judge yourself. You're right on track, honestly. You're right where you're supposed to be. We have here the ever unfolding rose cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. Remember that. I think that's a really important message. Whatever's going on in your life is happening for you, not to you. It doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that it won't, it doesn't like, what the hell am I trying to say? It doesn't mean that it doesn't suck or feel sucky, but it is happening for your greater good, for you to become the best version of yourself, for you to follow your bliss. Maybe you've been following other people's ideas of bliss, of happiness, of creativity and stuff like that. Dance with life, do something to change your energy. Absolutely. Spirit is really like talking to you guys about, to all of us honestly, about doing something different to change our energy, doing something different to kind of get inspired again. That is solely based on us. That's not based on what's going on in the world. That's not based in our environment, our relationships. Doing what's best for you, loving where you are, loving who you are, and seeing the beauty in everything that's going on. Everything is happening exactly the way it's supposed to be. And then we have align your life. What is not aligned or needs change? Exactly. This is what Spirit's telling you, are asking you to look at. We have transformation. See, things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. We are all going through a deep healing, or I included. I'm going to include myself in this reading. There are a lot of changes going on at a cellular level. There is deep healing going on. There is a need, and because of this, it is asking you to realign your life. It is asking you to look at things that need to change. It is asking you to shift your perspective, to do something different, do something spontaneous. And that whatever is happening for your own benefit. You have to believe this. You have to trust this. If you don't, it's okay. But this is the truth of what's going on. This is the truth of what's happening. There's a lot of pink and a lot of purple. So I think this is about self-love, self-care. Every time I see pink, it just reminds me of like self-love, self-care. So there's a lot of like self-love, self-care, maybe gardening, maybe like buying yourself flowers, just making yourself feel better, maybe dancing in your room or dancing in general, singing, like just enjoying yourself for where you are right now, and know that it will shift. Try to at least like watch a funny movie, watch something that really brings you joy, and just kind of reflect about what brings you joy, what doesn't. Because I feel like if this is something that used to bring you joy, it's not doing it anymore for a good reason. Doesn't mean it's not meant to bring you joy. It doesn't mean it's not meant to be in your life, but it just means right now the joy has to come from within. The joy has to come from deep within, and there needs to be a transformation where you're no longer looking outside yourself to be happy. You're not looking at other people to make you happy, other situations, job, money, whatever. This is a deep inner healing of looking within yourself about what makes you happy, what doesn't make you happy, and what you need to be happy, what you need to feel heard, to feel seen, to feel inspired, like all of it. This is like a deep transformation. So this may go on for quite some time, but this is really, really good. It's really, really positive, because you're gonna get back into a place where you see things clearly, where you can move forward, where you are responsible for your life, where you're the king and the queen of your life, where you are really loving where you're at and really kind of appreciating where you're at, appreciating where everybody else is at, and not needing them to change so that you feel better. Key message there. Okay, so that is what I see for you guys. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this provided you with some type of guidance and clarity. If you like this, let me know, and I'll do more of these self-check-in type readings. I actually really enjoyed this. This was fun. A change of pace from the pick of cards, which I'm still gonna do, but I want to do more like collective stuff. So let me know. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Sorry if this is really long, but yeah, I'm sending you all so much love and light, and I will talk to you all later. Take care.